gods, what have I done? Save me! Ramza! Save me!
The royal city of Rabanastre complete! Oh boy, that took a while. Alright. Don't know which one, but definitely heal I needed that. Oh my god. Look at the stuff. Let's try that one. Trisection, precipitous combat, and Ultima's transformation. Nope, nope, nope. If I get either of them, that'll be a miracle. Nope. Alright. Well, wait a minute. Before we head out, what was it you two said, like, 1,000 hours ago? Come on. Come on. There's a million things to get through. Revelation, revelation, revelation. I am revelation. You are revelation. We are revelation. Everyone is revelation. Ah, here we go. Any doubts I had in your participation in this rescue, I have no longer. I was wrong to place mistrust in Sid and my sister's judgment. Now let us continue on. I sense we are close to the goal, and the air here feels wrong. Can you sense it? Death awaits us in yon chamber. No, revelation waited for us in yon chamber. Right, let's get out of here. Where am I? Father! Ramza? And the Warrior of Light? Yes, I know of you, but that you should come to my rescue, words, well, they fail me. A poor playwright I must seem. The term you're looking for is thank you. Upon which note, I, Begarman, Bounty Hunter, do humbly thank you, Warrior of Light, for delivering me this fine gift. Now, hand over the Orasite, unless you wish to see the desert sands turn red. And be quick. Good chick here, for he does not have the steadiest of hands. That one. She will bring it to me. That's it. Hand it over. Nice and slow. Yeah, lovely. The bull. Or Tauros, I think. Ugh. Yeah, that's it. The Duma. And to think we found it so close to Doma. The Duma of Doma. I told you I don't like puns. Enough, Froggy. We would not have our guests think us underbred. You have what you want, you thieving lizards. Now unhand him. Oh, of course, of course. A banker is always true to his word. I'll keep this, though. Father! Well, see you next time. You've only got yourselves to blame for this. But if you mislike the thought, you could always blame the gods. Not that they're listening. Get up, fool. We're leaving. Bloody idiot. You're going to be all right. We cannot see to your father's hurts here. Come on, we must get him back to the Prima Vista. Well, that was a slow start, but an exciting finale. Father! Wake up, Father! Please! Mother! Don't take him from us yet! He is unchanged. Genimus remains deep in his slumber, but his breathing is steady and his fever has subsided. For now, all we can do is wait. I've sent word to Sid. I hope you don't mind. Well, seems only fair. Alma? Ramza? Oh, can you forgive me? And you, Sid. It was never my intention to put you to such trouble. I am ever in your debt. Oh, you would have done the same for me, Genimus. Besides, it was Alex here who went to all the trouble. If anyone deserves your thanks, it's him. Oh, he is right. I have done naught to deserve your kindness, yet I am its beneficiary nonetheless. So, if I understood correctly, you're saying Orosite does not work to facilitate the possession of a living host by an icon, as was assumed to be the case with Izel and the Archbishop, but rather absorbs the host's ether, its very soul, and somehow transforms it before returning it to the host's body. If that is the case, our Charlatan allies will need to be informed immediately. But I suppose the real question here is, did you find what you came looking for? The legend would have us believe that Delatar Heyral, the commoner who would be king, was the sole hero of the Zodiac Brave story. But, as I have discovered, there was another. 2 others, in fact. Siblings, whose role faded from subsequent retellings of the story. A brother and a sister by the names of Ramza and Alma. Then, to prepare for this assignment, I pored over every published work in Ivalician legend I could lay my hands on, and nowhere did I find any mention of these siblings. But I did. I uncovered irrefutable evidence that Delatar had a close companion named Ramza, who aided him in his rise to power. This, in turn, led me to Alma, and that I might never lose sight of the truth, I named my own children after these lost players. Try that again. I'm sorry I never told you any of this, Sid, but you must believe me. Ivalice has never been a mere pastime of mine. It is and forever will be my calling, my purpose. My family's purpose. Go on. The world knows me as Genimus Sen Lexentale, yet that is but my stage name. My true name is Arislam Jurai. Countless generations past, it was my ancestor who penned the Jurai Papers, an account of Ivalice and the War of the Lions that details what truly occurred during that turbulent era. You are tired, Father. Rest. I will continue. That's the wrong person's voice. I did the girl's voice. But you get the idea. Long ago, an orphan by the name of Oran Durai crossed paths with both Ramza and Delita. After Delita's rise to power, Oran found himself in the service of the pauper become king. Following the War of the Lions, Oran believed the people of Ivalice had a right to know the truth of Ramza's involvement, and set about documenting his deeds. When the church learned of his intent, however, they branded him a heretic and had him burned at the stake. The Jurai Papers were never published, and any existing copies gathered and sealed away in church vaults. The truth about Ivalice along with them. What was so damning that it could drive the church to do such a thing? The answer to that question can be found in this book, the only surviving transcript of my ancestors' chronicle, copied from an earlier draft and passed down for untold generations. With this, my father and I plan to reveal the truth and restore honor to my family name. Forbidden Chronicles? A secret family legacy? Oh, not that I doubt you, Genimus, but how do you expect to convince people of all of this when well nigh every soul in the realm believes Ivalice to be nothing but a bedtime story? By proving that it is anything but. And when people see that Ivalice was real, the rest will fall into place. Were it as simple as bringing forth the chronicle and submitting it for review, we would of course have done so long ago, but alas it is not. The Jurai Papers, you see, are written in High Ivalician, an ancient tongue long extinct. My father, his father, and his father before him laboured tirelessly to decipher this tome, but for want of other sources made only fitful progress. A word here, a phrase there. It wasn't until a recent expedition to Rabanastre turned up several well-preserved artifacts that we were able to translate a small portion of the papers. Then the diary stolen by Banga bounty hunters? I'm afraid so. Everything we had learned of the language was contained in those pages. Then we're back to where we started. Not necessarily. We still have the transcript, and as well as some few translated pages, and of course my father's impeccable memory. I have come too far to allow so simple a setback to deter me from my purpose. I will show the world the truth, if it's the last thing I do. It is as Master Garland said. He is a man obsessed, and I fear Ivalice's grip on him will only grow tighter. Father was fortunate to escape Rabanastre with his life, and already he speaks of continuing his quest. Oh, promise me you'll keep him safe, please. Well, I'll do me best. Foreboding. Oh, back to Kugane. Ch. After what I've seen here, I'm all but convinced that Ivalice exists, at least in some form. The problem will be gathering sufficient evidence to convince the thousands of scholars and historians who have based their careers on the presumption that it doesn't. Not that I've ever been one to shy from a challenge, especially when it means the story of the century. If you're in, Alexander, then I'm in. Try that again. If you're in, Alexander, then I'm in. If you're not in, well, I'm still in. Either way, you'll be hearing from me again soon. That much I'll promise you. And we get the protagonist's theme and the background story. Ba 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 ba. Those runes we saw in Rabanastre were all the convincing this skeptic needed. The king of Ivalice is real, and curse the fool who dares say otherwise. But this is no longer simply about proving Ivalice's existence. It's about uncovering a truth that was buried for what can only have been the most questionable reasons. And if solving a millennia-old mystery isn't the pinnacle of investigative reporting, I don't know what is. We're in this together, whether you or the Lexitales, pardon me, the Durais, like it or not. Ba 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 da da, ba da 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 da. Well, let's head over and we can have a listen to that music. Ba ba ba, bum bum bum. Go to apartment. That reminds me, I just thought I haven't checked. We must have got something. Let's see. Ah, there we go. A Rabanastre coin. A small gold coin stamped with the Royal Rabanastre seal. And it looks like that's all we got. Well, that's our weekly item. So before I try and do that, let's actually redeem them. Protagonist theme and background story. Leader of the band. Okay. There we go. Alright. That's a cool one. What's background story? Alright, so I'm gonna head back to Kugani so we can get a nice picture, and then we'll end this thing. Ah, the Liberator! If ever even half of what Sid told me is true, your exploits would translate well to the stage. Perhaps when my life's work's done, and the secrets of Ivalice have been laid bare, I shall consider penning a new play. Alas, that day may be long in the coming, though each hour brings with it a new discovery. Forgive me, was there something you wish to discuss? Oh my god, there's a lot here. I'll talk to you in a second.
After hearing the account of your descent into Dal Massacre, I couldn't help but wonder what other horrors lurk in the Eastern Sands.
Eastern Sands.
My brother made me swear an oath I'd not breathe a word of this, but he and father believed that deep within the ruins of Rabanastre dwell creatures bound by divine magics older than the royal city itself. I cannot help but wonder, were they imprisoned there to protect us against them, or to protect whatever lies below against us? Nothing I could say will free Ramsa and my father from the curse that is our family's legacy, but I fear the worst should they continue to pursue the legend.
Ah, hello Ramsa. We are currently attempting to retranslate passages of the Jurai papers from memory, focusing on the section that mentioned the Duma. But the going is slow without my father's journal. I will see those filthy bangers' heads on pikes before this is all over. But first, the translation. Someone will send word once we have something of substance. Good day. And there's our aura site hidden away. Alright, well I didn't expect there to be a ton... Oh god, oh god. I had auto run on by accident there. Who exactly was the original Ramsa? As I mentioned, Ramsa does not appear in the legend of Delta's miraculous rise to power. For his part in the tale, we must look to the Jurai papers. My ancestor's account states that Ramsa was the youngest son of one Barbaneth Beolf, the lord of a noble house of high standing. He was the same age as Delita, whom Lord Beolf took in following the death of his parents. The two boys would have grown up together, side by side. Yet, while the legends are strewn with references to Barbaneth's elder sons, his youngest is conspicuously absent. According to the Jurai papers, this is because the Church of Glabados branded Ramsa a heretic and had his name erased from the annals of history. My research is yet to reveal why the Church would do such a thing, and why his own blood would seemingly condone the act. For what it is worth, however, the author of the Jurai papers was firmly convinced that Ramsa was the true hero of the legends of Ivalice, a true Zodiac brave. What is the relationship between Ramsa and Delita? Well, you just explained that, but go on then. Delita was born into a family of serfs, the Heyrals, who tilled land owned by House Beolf. When Delita's parents succumbed to the Black Death, Ramsa's father took the boy and his younger sister,
Tetra into his home and raised them as he would his own children. It is at this time that I believe Delita and Ramza became friends, growing up as equals bound by societal constraints of blood and birth. According to legend, Lord Barbanith was quick to recognize that young Delita's talents extended beyond working the land, and so he used his influence to secure the orphan a place at the Garland Royal Military Academy with a K for some reason. If the jury papers are correct about Ramza's age, it would not be unreasonable to assume that he attended the same institution. The pair would not walk the same path for long, however. Following the untimely death of Tetra, the culmination of tragic circumstances of events set in motion by none other than Ramza himself, Delita cut ties with the house to which he had been bound since birth, and pursued his ambitions alone. Who were the Zodiac Braves? Though they are virtually synonymous with Ivalice, little is actually known of the Braves and their origins. Legend has it that Delita, acting at the behest of the Church of Glabados, set out with a company of knights to recover the 12 lost Zodiac stones. Thus they duly did, earning themselves the moniker of Zodiac Braves. As you might expect, however, the Jurai papers tell a different story. Aran claims that it was not Delita who led the knights, but Ramza Beowulf. How this discrepancy arose is yet a mystery, but one I fully intend to solve. What is Orosite? Legend paints them as holy relics created by the gods of Ivalice themselves. Instinct and better judgment suggest that they are similar to the ether-based crystals of the present day, but exactly how similar is something I will require more time to establish. One thing both legend and the Jurai papers agree upon is that Orosite had the power to make manifest one's deepest desires, be they fair or foul. This is borne out by the fact that the stones are credited both with destroying Malond, city of the gods, and granting Delita the power to bring order to chaos in his kingdom. Orosite, I conclude, is precisely as good or evil as its wielder. Who or what are the Lucavi? Elysian legend portrays them simply as demons, but I have a theory as to their true nature based on my own observations, and of course those of my honoured forebearer. The Jurai papers tell us that when an Orosite is used with malign intent, it warps both body and mind, transforming the wielder into, well, something no longer of this world. These beings, these others, are, well, I believe, one and the same as the twisted creatures you faced in Rabanastre. Defeating said monstrosities served to restore the Orosite to its original crystalline state, that of the Duma, which, again, is consistent with events described in my ancestors' records. Who was Argus Thadalphus? According to legend, Argus Thadalphus, or Argus Sadalphus, depending on which version of the tale your nursemaid told you, was once heir to a high house, which had fallen into disrepute through the ignoble conduct of its then lord, Argoth's grandsire. Cursing his family's diminished circumstances, the youth turned his ire upon the only souls over whom he still retained any influence, small folk. But Delita, hero of the common man, would not suffer this, and after trying and failing to reason with Argoth, put him to the sword. The Jurai papers, however, tell us more. They make mention of an heirloom passed down from generation to generation in House Thadalphus, a priceless jewel known as the Duma. Upon
Argeth's death. At the hands of Delita, the power of the Duma, which a young Thedalphus carried upon its person, was unlocked, and the Lakavi bound to it released. The stone duly gave form to Argeth's fury, reanimating his body and granting him strength to exact revenge upon the one who ended his life. Yet, who should spare Delita that fate but Ramza, who battled the vengeful corpse unbeknownst to his childhood friend, and finally brought peace to Argeth's soul. Though we know better. Now you may ask why Ramza would lend his blade to the selfsame man who forsook his ties to House Beulve. The reason lies in poor Ramza's own involvement in the murder of Delita's sister. It was Argeth who fired the boat that struck Tetra down. Aye, but it was Ramza's earlier rescue of Argeth, that paved the way for the tragedy to follow. Though Argeth was dead and Tetra avenged, Delita's bitterness endured and festered, and it was not long before he began to blame Ramza. Ramza, for his part, understood all too well the turmoil in his grieving friend's heart, and therefore chose, out of respect, to maintain his distance. So the question before us remains, how and why a man twice consigned to the grave could rise again to wreak chaos, and in Rabanastre of all places. Did unscattered remnants of Argeth's undying rage trigger a second reaction in the Duma, calling the Lakuvi once more to our realm? Or was it something else, something more sinister? And that's that. So, after a lot of talking that I didn't actually expect to happen there, move that camera down. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm very excited, even though it's quite a ways off, for whenever we get the next raid. Being like 6 months maybe, something like that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I've got a lot of editing to do on this because there was a lot of fails, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.